and welcome here to TalkFCB, and welcome back to what is such a special match preview video right here today, because we are celebrating Barca's return home, because after 909 days away, this Saturday, when Barca face Athletic Club, we will return to the Spotify Camp Nou for the first time, and it is going to be electric out there. I cannot wait for this game. That's why I'm bringing you this preview now. Let's get the build-up underway. Let's talk about what it will mean to be back at our proper home, and what team can we expect to see from Hansi Flick on Saturday. It's a big one, but boy is it special. So get ready, and let's get to it. Now, today's video is coming to you courtesy of Cooper right here today, who are here to help you with your Christmas shopping, because there's no better time right here to get your presents sorted than Black Friday. You know, so many deals out there right now, and as you can see right here on the Cooper homepage, you've got the cashback. That's real money going into your Cooper account that's available to withdraw at any time, and along with that, for all of these stores here, look at the discount codes they are providing you with every website that you can think of. And if we come across here, let's just pick one at random. Let's go with Foot Locker. I'm going to switch up my look this Christmas. Oh wait, I'm supposed to be buying presents for somebody else, not for myself. But anyway, let's continue. 2 to 5% cash back, depending there on the product that you choose. And then when you go down, look at all of the discount codes that are available here to apply to your order with simply one click. So if you would like to check out the Cooper browser extension, that's going to be your Christmas assistant. Just follow the link down below. That will take you straight there, and it's completely free. So enjoy and get to shopping now. Because indeed, guys, ever since the announcement, ever since it was confirmed that we are going to be back at our stadium, I just couldn't wait for this game. You know, I just can't wait for the feeling again to see the players walk out onto that pitch, because no matter what has gone on around it, you know, for me, I think the stadium still looks incredibly historic. You know, I was a bit worried about that when we heard, oh, we're going to renovate the Camp Nou, we're going to change it, you know, we're going to modify it a little bit. I was worried that you'd lose that history, that special feeling. But when you look at the stadium right now, I mean, it looks spectacular. I cannot wait to be back there. And Barca on Saturday, they are planning a very special occasion, you know, right throughout the day, in the build-up to the game, during it, after it there. They've got a DJ getting ready to go. They've got a pyrotechnic show. We've got fireworks, all sort of things like this. There's also going to be a surprise honorary kickoff that Barca have sort of teased. Who could that be? You know, let me know in the comments down below. A few guesses there on exactly who is going to take there the honorary kickoff. And what I also thought was interesting is that the club are urging all fans attending this match, please wear the Barca colours if you can. If you can wear a shirt, if you can wear a scarf, come and represent the club. We want everybody in there to be wearing the Blaugrana colours, you know, and I think that's absolutely amazing to have everybody together again, one big family. And can you imagine the atmosphere? Can you imagine the feeling that all of these players, they're going to experience that, walking out, looking around them, some of them for the very first time at this stadium. This is such a special moment. Because I think to understand, you know, properly what this will mean to each and every one of us, I think it's important to actually look back at the final game that we played at the Camp Nou. It was back in 2023, May, against Mallorca. We won that game by 3-0, Ansu Fati scoring 2 of them. And let's have a look here at the team that took to the field. And as you can see, I mean, it's incredible how much time really has gone by. I mean, you've got Jordi Alba, you've got Sergio Busquets in the starting lineup here. It was that long ago. You've got Ousmane Dembele in the front line. Like I say, Ansu Fati scored twice on the day along with Gavi, and just 12 members of the current squad were in that squad back in 2023 against Mallorca. And just to give you an idea, really, of how long ago that was, Fermin Lopez was on loan at Linares, right the way down the Spanish divisions there. It's absolutely extraordinary to see the kind of rise that he has had. And for instance, the day before that game against Mallorca, Pau Cubarsí and Lamine Yamal, where were they? They were in Budapest for the quarter-final of the under-17 European Championships there with Spain. So I think it's amazing to see just how much has changed, and I think it puts into perspective as well just how far so many of these young players have come in such a short space of time. This is a new Barca. This is a new era. And on Saturday, we will be ready to go. Because I think it is very, very important here that we do build upon this momentum, what it will mean to return to the stadium. This is the start, of course, of a run of 3 successive La Liga home games. I think it's a great opportunity for us all to reset. You know, the season so far, 12 games in La Liga, it's not been ideal, it's not really been convincing, we haven't really played with a lot of authority or conviction in the style that we're playing, but I think when you look at the league table, we are only 3 points behind Real Madrid. You know, we are definitely here within touching distance. We're in this fight, and this is a great opportunity now to say, okay, what's happened has happened. We put that behind us. You know, we got injured players coming back. This is a great opportunity to go again. Start as we mean to go on. Get that confidence flowing again. Build that momentum. It all starts right here. But of course, guys, we do have to look into our opponents on Saturday. Athletic Club, they are 7th in La Liga, which I would basically say really is about where they should be. You know, it's steady enough without ever really being exciting. You know, I would say this season, Athletic Club, they've been a bit of a tough watch at times, in all honesty, and I think they've largely been propped up there in the league by their home form. Because you look at their away form, it is not good at all. You know, they managed to sort of get through a few games, winning by a single goal at home, but away from San Mamés, they have really, really struggled. Only 12th right now in the away table in La Liga. Only 4 points they picked up from 5 games. And the feeling is that maybe things could be getting a little bit stale right now under Ernesto Valverde. You know, it is tricky at Athletic Club because it's not as though you can really revolutionise the squad. You can't bring in loads of new players and freshen things up. So I just think right now they are sort of hitting the wall a bit. And if you look at their away points, I mean, they got a great win away at Betis. But then it's just a 0-0 draw against Elche. That's all that they've done this season. They've been beaten by a poor Valencia team. They've been beaten by Villarreal. They lost in the derby against Real Sociedad. That could be mentally damaging for them. And even in Europe, they've struggled too. You know, big losses away against Dortmund. They were hammered there at Dortmund. And they also got beat by Newcastle at St. James's Park. So I think Athletic here, they are not really the fearsome team that we've seen maybe over the past few seasons. They are sort of finding things difficult right now, but of course all eyes will be on Nico Williams. Now you could expect him to get an interesting reception, I would say, there from the Barcelona fans, because 2 summers in a row now we've been trying to sign him. I think 2 summers in a row we thought we were going to get him, and of course everything just played out terribly, you know, from Barca's point of view there. It prompted Athletic actually at one point in the summer to demand a full investigation into Barca's finances. They were deeply, deeply unhappy. Nico since then has signed a new 10-year deal at the club. So the big question is really, how's he doing? He didn't want to come, you know, he elected again to stay at Athletic Club. How is he doing in terms of his career? Well, he spent a significant chunk of this season on the sidelines with an injury. He has suffered quite a few injury problems really over the past season. He did score a stunning solo goal, you've got to say, give him credit there. Wonderful goal that he scored recently against Real Oviedo. But to be honest with Nico, it's kind of frustrating in many ways because that's the kind of thing he can do. That is the kind of thing that he's fully capable of. But to be honest, you don't see it enough. You know, he should be doing things like this on a regular basis there. He should be scoring more and more and more goals. All he has so far in 9 games this season is 2 goals and 1 assist to his name. So he's not exactly tearing it up right now, although in his defence, and I think this actually says more about Athletic Club right now, what's extraordinary is that those 2 goals make him Athletic Club's joint top goal scorer. And even that assist, that also makes him the joint top assister this season. So quite clearly, Athletic Club, they are struggling to get goals, to get assists here, to get output in front of goal. And I think that highlights really some of the problems that they are facing. However, guys, in the case of Barca, well, one of our major problems throughout the season so far, I think we'd all agree on this, it has been injuries. They have hit us very, very hard and in very key areas of the squad. Now, of course, this weekend, we're getting players back. We we are finally recuperating, really, and just getting such important and influential players to this system back. But before we get on to the good news, there is one slight concern. You often get one back, then you lose another one. Well, Marcus Rashford today, he didn't train and he had minor discomfort. Now, at this stage, the club seem to be pretty calm. People in the media seem to be quite calm about this. Okay, there's no real problem. He may be back tomorrow. He should be okay in time for the game at the weekend. But the only thing we know right now is that he didn't train today, which is not ideal, but hopefully he will be okay and good to go. There will also be no Frenkie de Jong, of course. Now, that is a massive miss. He's been a very important player and a good leader, of course, throughout this season. He received a red card, don't forget, against Celta just before the international break started. I still believe with Frenkie, it was really unfortunate. I think it's a really harsh second yellow in my opinion. The referee didn't need to send him off, but I actually think he wanted to. He seemed desperate to get that second yellow card out, and Frenkie will be suspended this weekend. And along with Pedri, of course, who's still waiting to get back. He's still really trying to force the issue and make his return. It won't quite happen yet. He's very much on the verge. Hopefully against Chelsea, we're going to learn a little bit more about how Pedri's doing. But right now, we do have gaps to fill in midfield. We are depleted a little bit in that area, and it's such an important area, of course, ahead of this weekend. However, as we do begin to move through here, the potential lineup that we could see on Saturday, let's start in goal with the return of Joan García. Now, for me, it's massive. You cannot understate how important his return is going to be here for the team in all areas. We've spoken about his shot stopping. We've spoken about the fact that he's such an influential figure. He's a leading figure in his box. He will command his area. He will claim crosses. He will actually give confidence to his defence, which is important. Barca have lacked confidence this season, especially defensively. You need a good goalkeeper behind you to give you that real confidence and belief in what you're doing. He's also got that good starting position. He can be the sweeper keeper if needed. So amazing news that Joan García, he is back and he will be starting in this game. But it's interesting then in the defence. What do you do at right back? Because Jules Koundé, he has just not been convincing. I'm sorry guys, we want him to be there. We want him to be at his best. We haven't seen that so far this season, and that is why Eric Garcia has started to play more and more games. He started the game against Celta Vigo before the international break. So for me, I think Eric probably starts again. I think he's probably going to start there at right back. Koundé may not start this one. He might be on the bench. Let me know if you would agree with that particular move. I think at centre back then, we might stick with what worked. What worked pretty well against Celta Vigo. Ronald Araujo, Pau Cubarsí, Alejandro Balde there along the back line. So you've got those four. I think that's solid enough. With Joan Garcia in behind them. Again, you're looking at the offside trap. You're looking at that high line. It's going to be, I would say maybe under less pressure, at times against Athletic Club. They have a bit of pace in their team, but it shouldn't be absolutely off the charts. But then in midfield, I think that's the big one. Now, in my opinion, with no Pedri, with no Frenkie de Jong, I would love to see Marc Bernal get an opportunity. I don't think we've seen too much of him so far this season. The club have been very patient with him, and I understand all of that, but I do think this is a game that says, okay, could he be a part of it? Could he come in and start, showing what he's got in midfield? He's a very talented player, so I would like to see him. But I don't know whether we will. I think we will see, of course, Marc Casado. He's the obvious choice there to come into midfield, and I think we're definitely going to see him in the starting lineup here. He is all okay and fit to play. And then alongside him, I do wonder, could we see Dani Olmo there? Now, I know it seems a bit strange, but I think against Celta we saw him in a bit of a deeper role. Could we see him directly alongside Marc Casado, given the absences, given if maybe we don't feel Marc Bernal is ready to start? Could you see Olmo alongside Marc Casado, and then ahead of him, could you then start to play Fermin Lopez? Now, he's got to be in the team. He is such an effective player. And in a game like this, you expect him to get chances. He's going to make things happen. He is certainly going to be there pressing Athletic, hounding them for mistakes. And I would definitely start Fermin in that most advanced role. But behind him, could it be Olmo and Casado to make up that midfield? Now, on the right-hand side, it's going to be Lamine Yamal. It will be. I know he got a bit of rest over the course of the international break. That's great, by the way. That is absolutely fantastic news there that he did have that break from Spain, but I think he will start in this game. We've got to keep an eye on him. We have to manage his minutes too. We have to take our own responsibility to look after him, but Yamal should be playing on that right-hand side. And then over on the left, say Marcus Rashford isn't ready, or maybe he's not 100% fit, it's a great chance to put Raphinha back in this team again, because he is still such an important player for us, and he's another player that we cannot understate how much of a loss he has been. On the ball, off the ball, he does so many good things. He's such a threat as well in the final third. He combines well with Lamine Yamal. He provides assists as well for the strikers. Raphinha, I cannot wait to see him back, and he may well be in line to start this weekend. And then in number 9, it's got to be Lewandowski. I mean, the guy's picked himself. Yeah, Ferran so far this season, he's done well. He's done a good job when called upon. But you can't drop the guy who just scored a hat-trick in the last league game against Celta Vigo. Lewandowski made the difference. He was in all the right places. And I especially feel as though with Yamal around him, with Raphinha around him, Rashford if he's going to play as well, with all of these players in and around him, he is going to get chances inside of the box. He is such an electric finisher. He can score the goals and sort of help this system out, take some pressure off of that defence. And that's the way I see the team going right now. I think midfield is going to be the big one. How would you line up in that area? How would you shape up in that area with the absences we have? And in attack now, we are gaining more depth again. We have players coming back, and that is a massive relief. Which is why, in my opinion, this weekend, it's a special game. It's a monumental moment for the club. And I believe we'll build on that. I believe here that with players coming back as well, we are going to see something strong from Barca, something really positive. I'm actually going to go with a clean sheet. I don't think Athletic score. I don't think they're going to score past our defence this weekend. That is a bold statement when it comes to Barca, but that is the way that I'm going. I'm going to go Barca 3, Athletic Club 0. Let's start as we mean to go on. And what better way than a dominant attacking performance with a clean sheet added to it as well. And that would be great too for the returning Joan García, guys. But please do let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. What do you think will happen? What are your score predictions here? And how would you line up? This is a big team selection, in my opinion, from Hansi Flick, and especially as well ahead of the game on Tuesday against Chelsea. Let me know those thoughts down below. Do not forget to check out Cooper there. Just follow that link down below. They are going to help save you guys money. And in the end, we will all be happy this weekend, I hope. So thank you indeed, guys, for tuning in, for all of your support here. Let's get ready now for the big occasion, for the moment we've been waiting for. We are going back to the Spotify Camp Nou. But until next time, as always, Vesca, El Barça.